We are back for round 3 in Deadlink. I'm going to grab this ammo upgrade for my main weapon, and I'm also going to grab a fire ant rounds for my heavy. This first room goes by fairly quickly. The fire ant rounds, figuring out that you can recall them to deal damage on enemies back through, is pretty important. Throw some grenades to finish off the room. I'm gonna go grab an implant here. I'm gonna take the multi-thread overclock. Move on to the next room. I'm gonna use my first special a lot to keep my armor up as it hits multiple enemies when they die. The Engineer's assault rifle is absolutely insane with how accurate it is. It does massive amounts of damage. We're going to take another weapon mod to upgrade it even more. 3-round burst for critical damage on that third round is very essential. Just melts enemies. The spider tanks don't stand a chance. Regular enemies melted. This room was absolutely shredded because of the 3-round burst. It makes things look really easy. And go ahead and throw that implant slot in there and move on. Another spider tank that is just absolutely decimated by the 3-round burst particle accelerator. Enemies gone. Throwing out my turret to keep fire on the enemies behind me. Last enemy of the room looks to be a spider tank. Promptly destroyed. Absolutely melted. Gonna take the touring tokens here to get permanent upgrades later on. Skipping all these guys for right now. Trying to build up some points for later. The geisha got decimated. The sumo is still the bane of my existence due to the shield in the front and only weak in the back. I'm not very good at dispatching them quickly. Flying enemies, weak. Regular enemies going into the next room, full shields, full health. Big things. Taking the legendary for the increased defense power and reduced cooldowns. Doing some rearranging and keeping moving. A survive room, 40 seconds. As long as no geishas and no sumos show up together, fairly good 40-second survival. As you see, that just dealt damage and affected him. Oh, there's a sumo. The shield protects them from even explosions. Using my specials and grenades as much as possible right now to keep my shields as high as possible moving forward. And there's the end of that room. I'm gonna take a shell upgrade here. Gonna take the one that reduces cooldowns while we use Wormlink Breach. That means we can use it more to keep wiping out enemies faster. 3-second cooldown if you kill an enemy reusing it, compared to a 6 to 8 second cooldown is much more usable. Decimated that group of enemies. Still got full shields. Spider tank is done. Gonna upgrade the legendary. Get extra defense power. Got off the stairs so I can be a little bit more mobile in an open area. Most of the smaller enemies are getting absolutely decimated by 3-round burst. They've started adding armored enemies into Area 1, meaning caustic damage is much more effective against them. It's hard to have caustic damage early on in the game. Moving on to the boss, gonna stop by the shop here, grab maximum grenade upgrades and corrosive grenades because the second area is filled with enemies with armor. Corrosive grenades, very effective. Go ahead and buy an implant and pop it in. Making very short work of phase 1 for the Tarantula Spider tank. Halfway done with phase 2. The 3-round burst is absolutely just insane for the damage output you get. Already into phase 3 here. I'm eating lasers like a boss on this. Working on trying to preserve my shield. Made short work of that sumo. Finally getting it through my head that, get behind him. Maybe the shield would be more effective. Or less effective. Rather. And that's phase 3 done. Tarantula Spider tank out. Moving on to Area 2 here, prepared with caustic grenades to take care of armored enemies. Pushing straight through the doors, going right into room 1. Just melting. Already got my armor back to full, which is the plan, to try to keep it as close to full as possible. And that's room 1 of Area 2. Gonna take a level up on the implant there rather than taking another new one. Taking another Turing token for a upgrade later on. Flying enemies are very easily just a one tap with a 3-round burst. Gonna keep moving on, shredding through these enemies. Guy with armor right there. Took a few extra shots from the 3-round burst. Should have thrown a grenade at him. Making very short work of everything in that corner. Taking another new implant here. More critical damage on top of the extra critical damage for the 3-round burst is always nice. Go ahead and wipe enemies out even faster. Tethered to that guy, and as you see, I didn't kill him, and I had that 6-second cooldown. That is detrimental to keeping my shields up. And there we go. Halfway through area 2, gonna grab a new heavy weapon, which I haven't even used the other heavy weapon all that much. Biggest mistake of the run, honestly. The matter converter is what I wind up taking. It is not the best. It's rough. Probably better upgraded. Probably should have taken an upgrade there rather than this. I thought caustic damage for the armor was going to be the way to go, and it just is not. Back to the strategy of using the Gauss rifle 3-round burst, and just point and click. These dudes spawn homing bombs that follow in on you if you don't take them out quick. They are pretty rough, very damaging. Gonna take the one that increases my Gauss rifle damage because it also increases critical damage. Therefore, absolutely deleting enemies faster. About lost all my shields to that room. That was a very rough run. Gonna take the reload speed because the reload speed has affected me about twice. Look at that, almost instantaneous reload is absolutely nice to have. Fast hands. Getting destroyed by the hammer bros, just putting me into the corner. And there the hammer bros fall. Back up to full shield, which is beautiful, and another hammer bro decides to show up. Hammer trio. Made very short work in between the turret and my 3-round burst. Go in, buy max grenade upgrades, restore my health, and prepare for the boss fight. The boss fight coming up is against a giant shielded enemy. His AoEs are very hard to get out of the way of, and very damaging. Jumping does not work, you have to get outside of the circle using your dashes. He's a very aggressive boss. It's hard to get some breathing room to be able to heal your shields and make sure you can deal damage as well. The enemies spawning in. Eventually he gets those bomb drones in as well. Those are absolutely atrocious to try to deal with while trying to deal with the boss's AoE. And speaking of the bomb drones, there they are. Tons of damage. Try to keep moving, stay to the outside walls, run circles around the ball, is your best bet. Try to take out the bomb drones as soon as they come in. The potter, try to use your abilities on to get your health and armor back. Keep piling on the damage. This is a long fight. As I said, he's also very aggressive. He's just constantly pushing forward, charging you. That 3-round burst is seeming to do a whole heck of a lot against this guy. He's not shredding through his phases like the first boss. But I'm more worried about the bomb drones dealing more damage to me than the bosses, so it could be a main focus issue. I gotta get better at this boss. We're in the phase 3 now. He starts slamming the ground. He ditches the shield though, so he's a lot easier to deal damage to, but he starts slamming the ground and spawning electric shocks. If you thought he was aggressive before, he turns that intensity up for sure. But he falls just like the last. We're going into area 3 now. Area 3, or Zone 3, only has 6 areas. The enemies are more aggressive and they're multi-roomed. They are very push-heavy, melee-centric. As long as you can keep your distance, they should pose little to no threat. This is the start of the multi-room. We're in room 2. Taking out the stationary turret. Putting the melee guys with their wrenches away. Eventually you'll get to move on. These armored guys go for the Z-balls around the stages and equip them to their back. You have to melee them to make them weak enough to be able to deal damage. You'll deal damage, but just not as much as you could be doing if you got rid of the C-ball on their back. That, and they shield other enemies, so they're priority number 1. In the 3rd room of Area 1, definitely struggling to keep my health high. Hurt myself with my own grenade. I got it back up. I'm gonna keep pushing. guys. Broke the C-ball. Absolutely decimated life pool. Gonna take another implant here. It's gonna take the one that lets you deal more damage the more you stay in the air. So I'm not really staying in the air that much this run. It just seemed like the best choice. Some classes have an easier time staying in the air than the others. The engineers are very much so a grounded class. Very much so throw your turret, blast them in the face. Basically, Thorborn from Overwatch. Again, got rid of the shield guys, dealing with aggressive enemies. Making short work of the guys, these four wrench wielders. These guys are absolutely choked at 3-round burst. Gonna take some health because running low on HP is never fun. Area 3 of Zone 3. Started off with a couple of shield dudes. Everybody's pushing the door. It's getting hard to get them off of me. Yet another shield guy shows up. I tried to make the best use of that matter converter heavy weapon. As you see, I broke his C-ball. He grabbed another one off the air, or out of the air. Moving into the next room. Starts off with another shield guy. Trying to make short work of him so he doesn't grab his D-ball. But I should have been focusing on the smaller enemies there. There was a lot more of them. They were definitely outnumbering me. So he's shielding that enemy, so you have to make short work of him to be able to get him off. There we go. Guy grabbed another D-ball right there. Get him. He had very little health, so the armor he got from the C-ball wasn't very much of a gain. Should have taken the one with the more critical damage there. I was trying to be fast, and I grabbed the wrong one on accident. I'm gonna skip talking to that guy. He takes Turing tokens to upgrade your current run. Turing tokens are better spent elsewhere at the moment. Whole line of enemies down this little hallway, this little side of the map. Lining them up. Again, spots that heavy, but it's just not dealing as much damage as I would like it to. Stopped him from grabbing that C-ball, keeping pressure on the other shield guy. Stopped him from grabbing the C-ball using my tether. I'm gonna take a weapon upgrade here. Fire rate. 3-round burst faster. I'm gonna use some XP here to try to grab a random item. It doesn't go in my favor. I get junk twice, and I think the third time's the charm, and it winds up giving me an implant, which is an okay implant, but my defense implant's better. Just wasn't worth me using it. Moving on to the next area. 5 of 6. About done with this zone. Enemies gathering up in the corner. Lining them up and knocking them down like some dominoes. Going to the next room. Moving on to the Zone 3 boss. Area 6 of 6 for Zone 3 here. This boss is a pretty unique boss. It's a giant tower that sits in the middle of the room, spins around, shoots lasers. He has 4 separate life bars with 4 separate phases, and try to do the best I can to make short work of each of them. Phase 1 is complete. Try to shoot off the little fodder guys, get some armor back up. Moving to phase 2. Starts launching rockets, homing rockets that are fairly easy to evade. We're about done with phase 2. We're about to move on to phase 3 right here. He starts shifting the floor, throw you off the game. Stay true, stay out of the red zones. This phase should go by pretty quick as well. Tons of damage being in that red zone. That was a big error. Cuts me off. We're about to be done with phase 3 though. Moving on to phase 4 is just a giant laser show spinning around the room. Jump there like a fool. Also the one with the hardest spots to hit. His zone is his weak points in phase 4 are fairly tiny, especially when trying to evade lasers. 3-round burst is dealing a lot of damage. Trying to keep my shields up. Shooting little fodder guys. That's phase 4 for the 3rd boss down. We're going into the 4th and possibly final area of the game. Still have yet to finish an entire run. Spoilers for the next 2 minutes. You get to pick an area. I try to be smart and take out the security dogs. Think maybe it'll bring me luck. It doesn't work. I'm gonna go ahead and try to grab some health. I say try. Walk in this room, set forth to another boss, right after fighting the prior boss. Trying to build my shields up because I had some low shields going from that last boss into this room, and I'm just... the tanking hits that are putting my life very, very low. Everything in area 4 seems to hit like an absolute truck. I'll work on getting through that. Me and my 8 HP in a dream. I'm just doing end there. You guys have a good one. Hope to see you again.